thing is heavy. Perfect. Oh, now we're just showing off. Fresh filled in area so that we can be able to turn around without sinking down in. Awesome. And over here, that's all filled in so that I can put a big shelving unit right here for storing some stuff over winter. And that little divot there that turns into nothing but a bunch of ice during the winter time has a couple of loads in it to be able to pan out. And see, this right here is why it is I don't back the truck in very often. He only passed over this twice, and there's my hand down there. So that's, yeah. But there we go, getting ready for winter slowly but surely.
So 2 cuts or 1?
Yeah, one's fine. Take that deadhead right out of there. There you go.
I like this one.
You like it?
Yes, I like it a lot.
Ready to see if I can make the jump?
Yeah.
Right.
Watch you get all muddy.
Whoa. That would have sucked.
Yeah.
Alright, so this is a nice oak here, and this branch is about 1.5 inches or so thick. See if it'll do this.
No, it's doing it. Nice.
That's pretty pimpin'. I like that. I really appreciate Kaimo sending it to us to test. I highly recommend it. I've done a whole bunch around the yard with it at this point, and it's good for a solid about 10 feet up above your head as long as it's smaller branches. But bigger stuff like that, you're really better off at about this 6 foot length. But works great. Thank you to Kaimo. And with that, I decided I was not going to be live streaming from inside of our bedroom in the house. This is the color that Jesse picked for the bedroom, because I know a lot of you have asked. It's this really weird transitional bluish purple thing that, depending on what lights you're using, looks anywhere from like a baby boy blue to purple. So we've got the flooring done. There's all my old paintball equipment from back in the day. Still got to cap off a few things, but we can do that once we're in here. And the doors are done. I'm working on getting into the closets at this point. But yeah, we're getting close. We're not exactly as far as I wanted to be. My birthday was on the 25th. I was hoping to be able to go and be in here by the 25th. But we should be starting to move in this weekend. And you know what? Within a week or two, I'll call that a win. Close enough. So out in the living room right now, it is a disaster of trying to cut up the flooring. If you guys have ever worked with this flooring, it is horrible, the dust that it creates. It literally just gets everywhere possible. Don't ever be living in some place and cutting in it, because it'll eat up your nose and all kinds of other stuff. But there we go. That's the house update. We should be into it with starting this weekend. And the big thing is because our refrigerator got stolen, we're going to have to go and transition the refrigerator from the apartment into the house. And that refrigerator is like 11 years old, and I've had to replace the fan in it for us to be able to keep using it. So hopefully it'll work for another year till we can afford a refrigerator to put in the summer. But let's come out here. So let me switch this around. There we go. So the big Cub Cadet that sat here all summer has been moved. We're not going to get a chance to get the Cub Cadet transmission put in. I've got all the metal sorted out for being able to build the flatbed for the Van Hollen project. Over here we ended up with a couple of free chassis to work with. They're AYP standard chassis. One is an automatic, the other one is a gear shift setup. But I've had a lot of people ask if you can convert the automatic to working with a standard transmission. So we might do that as a how-to video at some point using that particular frame. Because these are the common one. These are the ones with the crummy 314 hydro in them that explode all the time. I've got 5 in my junk pile right now. So that might be the conversion we work with like just a cheap spicer or something. So over in here you can see that the tractor is sitting a little bit taller than it used to. And I'll roll some footage right here. We didn't need that limb anyway. I was planning on cutting it. Oh, looks like I might have to clean a little bit from next to the driveway. That's a big rock. So we ended up having a friend that had to go and move some dirt in order to get it out of a project site. So another friend came over with his skid steer, helped me get it sorted. All the rocks are over there. And basically what happens, you can see this tread right here, is everybody tries to turn around right here, and it's always a really swampy area. So I got this all filled in so that way there'll be a turnaround area for people with a trailer or with a vehicle or whatever. And I'm not overly worried about whether the grass grows on it or not. Ultimately, I want to take right in here and I want to fill all of this in so that you can drive in and do the little loop there and then come straight through, basically like Fuzz and the kitten is right now. So there's that. Van Hollen's not gone. Van Hollen is right there. The idea is to finish up everything that's going on over here. I've got a brand spanking new heavy duty tarp to go on that for the winter. We're going to face the exit of it going that direction so that we can put the big red MTD in there. The van is going to come down here and live inside of this for the winter. Because ultimately, once we're out of the apartment and we're in the house, that front room becomes free space, and the room that I have my editing computer in now becomes an open area. And so I can take that and we can start doing dedicated videos up in that area. I was thinking like rebuilding transmissions, maybe starting to do some motor how-to videos like bench stuff, things like that. There's already an exhaust fan system that was installed in this room because of how hot it gets up in that upper apartment. So there's an exhaust fan that already vents right directly out to that vent. So we could potentially even be able to go and test run a motor up there and run the vent and clear it. The GT that I usually plow with decided that coils were optional. I'm really glad it decided to do it now while it's 45 degrees out instead of doing it when it's negative 20. So there's that. And this right here, I just posted a video about this over on RCG Racing here on YouTube if you want to go check out what's going on with that. This is getting broken down for parts. I'm going to be getting rid of everything other than the transmission, which is a high lift, high shifter transmission, which is what is in John's gas-powered Power Wheel. And I believe it's got a little rinkety 14.5, if I remember right. Yep, it's got a little 14.5 in it. Even though I already have two of them, I will end up inevitably probably saving the hood with the brackets, just because these hoods are all metal, no plastic. And as much as I really hate Murrays, I just generally do not particularly care for them. I'm debating converting Mud Wizard over to having one of these hoods, just for the fact of it being a stronger hood. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think I should convert Mud Wizard or just leave it the way it is with the smashed up grill? And there's the ice racing project. We've got the engine in the garage to go in that. We've been cleaning up out in here. Everything is all moved around. And there's the Cub Cadet there that needs the rear end put in it. We've got one to go in. We just ran out of summer. And we've got the Zero Turn, which decided to eat a deck belt for the last part of the season. And I'm sure you guys want to go and see in here. So let me go open this up real quick. So this spot is clear because John's gas-powered Power Wheel is going to live there. There's the red Big Mod with the 25 horsepower Kohler in it. I'm debating whether I want to keep or sell that next year. Here's Diesel Eater. And that is somebody's project that I ended up inheriting that I haven't quite decided on yet. There's the Bug. That would be the original Hydro build that I'm hoping to revive next year. And that would be the Not the Norm build. A lot of you old school viewers have asked whether I got rid of Not the Norm. No, the build still exists. I even actually have a front steering MTD front end that I hunted down in order to go into it. We just haven't gotten there yet. And Jesse's rig, waiting for me to finish the transmission that's in the garage. Got all the halfway decent tires stacked up. And ready to go and survive the winter. The ice and snow and stuff really does a number on tires if they're sitting on their side like these are. These are just sitting here in case I need rims. They're not here in order to be able to use. The rims are still halfway decent and savable if I need to. There's that. That was the racer experiment that we ended up blowing up a bunch of transmissions in. The Cub Cadet that I mow my yard with is in here. As you can see, we had a massive flood condition situation. So, Mud Wizard's currently underneath all of that. And that's the electric tractor project that we maxed out the Chinese controllers on. We'll have to get back to. And there's my personal GT 5000 that I like to mow with. That there, the transmission is going to a new home. Hoods that are sitting on top of rocks that I can't get out of the ground because they're part of a ledge so I don't hit the rocks. Now with getting the apartment set up, I'll be able to get everything out of this transmission shed as far as these transmissions go. I'll be glad to get all of these out of here and stored in a place that they won't just be sitting and continuing to rot. And then what I think I'll probably do is I'll probably retool this shed for storing engines or something. I haven't quite decided what to do with it, but I want the transmissions to get put away somewhere where I can have easier access to being able to work on them and rebuild them during the winter. I've got most of the rebuilds caught up at this point, but we'll see. On the ice racer, the one big drawback that this had was these cut turf savers. See, I've got a pretty decent amount of lug to them. So these cut turf savers actually gripped really well in the back end. And if you were at my live chat, I actually bought a special tool for cutting tires that we're going to try and see if we can clean these up a little bit. But on the fronts, these here, because they're so wide and they're so flat, they just bulldozed. I think no matter what, the real reality is front turf savers are just not going to work. So I'm going to order up some 145 tires. I can't remember what size they are. They come out to about 14 inches. So I'm going to order up a couple of different types of tires that are 14-inch tires that we can put on some generic Craftsman rims. And we'll see where we can go from there. Big Baby just is what he is. I really haven't decided what to do about this truck. I hate to see him sit there and rot, but I'm able to do the driveway with what I have for snowplow equipment and snowblowers. So I probably will end up liquidating and getting rid of him at some point. So the Toro that I traded a $50 lawn tractor for a few years ago is running amazing. Works great. The only problem that I have with this is that right there, it gets iced up while you're using it and will not turn this assembly. So what I do is I spray that down before every snowstorm with Pam cooking spray. So I spray all of this with Pam. I spray the chute with Pam. I spray that with Pam. I spray all of this with Pam. That with Pam. And it makes it so the snow won't stick. And this is my rig together MTD that you guys saw me do last fall when I got back here and I needed something in an emergency. And we got that stashed. That's a running motor. That should run. That should run. John's little lawn bird is here. Yardman, I mean. Yeah, Yardman lawn bird. There we go. I got the whole thing together. He and I are debating a different transmission. The transmission that's in it is kind of sloppy and janky and a little messed up, so we're debating that. This has hit the point that we need to rebuild the entire system. And we're going to revisit that in the spring. That way we're not just building it to go and kill batteries during the winter. That's where we're at right now. And why you guys haven't had videos from me is because I've got to junk out everything I can within the next 2 weeks, basically. I've got about 2.5 weeks to junk out as much as I can, or it's going to have to stay here until May. And the other thing is by May, we don't know whether the price might plummet again or whether it might go up. But I just want the yard clear. I'm sick of all the junk that's been here for years. It's time to go and clean the place up. So that's what we're working on. Thank you everybody for support. I hope you enjoyed the update. Comment down below if you saw something you have an interest in or you want to hear more about later. And we'll go from there. Have a good day.